Here we go. Holiday season. The Wait for It Seattle podcast back in your eardrums on December 22nd. You'll be listening in December 23rd as you're doing last minute holiday shopping. It's Brian and Kevin.
It's
Kev, do
Brian
you, sorry,
it's
Kev.
Brian and Kevin.
Kev, do you do last minute holiday shopping or are you like on top of it?
Yeah. Um, Christine's on top of it. Me, not so much. Amazon, I think, has made people bad worse
Mm,
because it has enabled us to be last minute shoppers when gifts need thought and time. But how do you find time in these busy times during the holidays? I think it's really difficult.
it is, Kev. I had a bad Amazon experience actually today. I went to a locker where I had gotten a gift. I'd
Yeah.
planned ahead. Pulled up to the locker, supposed to be able to do it until tomorrow. Punch in the code, open the locker. The locker's empty.
Did someone steal your thing?
Not really sure how they would, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to have a code unless they just like, but if they had like used a device to prop it open, I feel like it wouldn't have worked with the code.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but the bummer is I basically, hit up Amazon customer service and they're like, don't
Yeah.
worry, we'll get you a replacement. I'm like, cool. I'm like, but can I get it by Christmas? They're like, don't you worry about it. Like the woman or man on Amazon or bot said, like, don't worry. Like almost condescending.
Yeah.
And then I got the notification. It was like, will arrive December 29th. Like, what
Yeah.
the?
Well, so you're lucky. Oh yeah, that's actually bad.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, if you're in Seattle, there's a warehouse with people in there making sure that people like you are satisfied and talking good things about Amazon on your podcast. I do have a
Mm.
question for you. What are your feelings toward gift cards, giving and receiving?
Oh, that's a good question, Kev. It really depends. So Amazon gift cards are great because I just punch that code right in and I use it. Like, I don't
Do you
use it
tell
right
them,
away,
yeah,
but
you
I will
tell
use it at
people,
some point.
you tell people who gave you well, I guess Amazon gift cards aren't usually like gifts. Usually they're like bribes. Like, so take a
Wait,
survey. Here's a $10 gift card,
no, I
right?
get Amazon gift cards as
It's
gifts from
gifts.
like
Okay.
from students or
Okay. So,
families or sometimes from somebody who doesn't know what to get you.
yeah. So with gift cards, usually what I do if it's not a student, right? I like let them know, hey, I used your gift card to buy X. Here's me
Oh,
using
wow.
those things, right? Like it's kind of like
You're
I think
so
it's
good.
a little better than a thank you card, right? I think it's a
Yeah.
lot better
That is
and
a
a,
thank you card essentially.
and a lot easier. Anyways, that's my pro tip. If
Wait,
you don't want
Kev,
to
can
send
I
thank you
can I
cards.
reveal something that my wife will be terrified? Terrified's not the right word.
Yeah.
Mortified. We never wrote thank you notes for our wedding presents.
Oh my God, I feel so good because we have not either.
Oh, it's amazing. It was like guilt for us for a long time. We
Yeah.
started and it just we are terrible at it. And it's a
Yeah.
combination of our personalities and what we're good
Yeah.
at. And it
Yeah.
just so I want to thank everybody who gave us the dishes we still use
Yeah.
some 16 years later. So thank you very much
Wow,
for
that's
those.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna thank people for all the things they give us at our wedding. Here's the
Great.
worst part about us: we have the thank you cards. We just
Oh, we held on to them for like 10 years. And then the guilt finally like I actually Dana probably still has them somewhere.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a hard one to get rid of, but that's not what this season's about. Season's not about guilt. We're not going to get too far into our deep dark secrets. Um, we might talk about some more holiday stuff. Last week's draft was quite popular among my people.
yeah.
A lot of feelings about your away in the manger number one pick, Kev.
Do you ever get like the play-by-play text messages when someone's listening to the podcast and they're just sending you as they listen? So, for
A little.
example,
I haven't
yeah,
gotten too much, but yeah, do you?
yeah. I got a run of those this past week from one of our listeners where I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah,
You're responding to everything that was
yeah.
said.
It actually
Um,
feels kind of good.
yeah.
Um, I want to give an update though on our song draft. I did go to the Seattle Prep Christmas concert, and I did text you,
Yeah.
and you there was Away in the Manger was not played, but you had a good instinct in that there were some songs in this similar vein. And I was a little nervous. I was like, what if they do an encore? It's a very good concert, by the way. Students did a great job.
Uh,
But
it
no
was
away in the
great.
manger, so
Yeah.
I don't owe you any money, which is good.
Yeah.
All right, today's show, besides us talking about all our guilt, is we're gonna talk about roster construction.
This is your favorite thing because
It
you
kind of
love
is. You're
fantasy
right.
sports. I think
Yeah,
you'd be a GM if you weren't a teacher in
I do.
another
I
life.
I do like doing that. It's true, Kev.
Yeah.
I do. Can I share something?
Yeah.
When I was like 11 or 12 and I loved basketball,
Yeah.
I lived in Shoreline and there were no kids around me.
Hmm.
My family knows this. My best friends know this already.
Yeah.
I created basketball teams, imaginary basketball teams in the backyard and played
That's
full five
awesome.
on five imaginary games,
Yeah.
like between the all ACC and all Big Ten teams. So it was like Tim Duncan, Randolph Childress,
Yeah.
whatever. But I also kept stats of them.
That's even better.
So I had notebooks of stats of fictional games that I was playing out in the backyard.
That is awesome.
I don't know if it's awesome, Kev, but it reveals a lot about me. So,
Well, we're not too dissimilar because when I was a kid, I would also do the same thing with baseball players.
hmm.
So like
Oh, I
I
did it with
would
baseball too. Yeah.
mix American League and National League and I'd know the batting stances and everything and the pitching windups and I do essentially the same thing now. I didn't keep stats,
Yeah.
but that's
Well,
another level.
to people that seems to be the real I don't know, it's not a deal breaker, but when Dana has told that story to people, they're like, "Oh, really?" And then they kind of like, "Oh, I get why he likes coaching so much." And this
Yeah.
goes to your point, roster construction. I've been creating rosters since I was 6 years old. So let's talk about, I would say, the biggest news of the Seattle sports week. The Seattle Reign, who I'm a season ticket holder for, who went, we documented on this podcast, went a month and a half without scoring a goal this summer, which is miserable, upgraded the roster. They traded a good player, midfielder Jalen Howell, who they also acquired this year, who was playing well for them, and I believe some money for Cassie Miller, a goalkeeper. But the bigger piece is Lynn Williams. Lynn Williams of Gotham FC, Lynn Williams of the U.S. women's national team striker. This is a big deal, and this changes the Reign's prospects for next year for sure. What do you know about Lynn Williams, Kev?
I know that she's a household name. I know that multiple people messaged me the same screenshot that you screenshotted me
Yep,
when it was just a rumor and then it was confirmed.
yep,
Um, I know she's on the older side. I
yep.
know she's a prolific goal scorer. So what I pulled was that she's been kind of injured the past 2 years at Gotham, but she's still scored 11 goals in 28 starts, which is close to like half of the games.
Yep.
So, uh, it sounds exciting. She's definitely not in her prime, but she's definitely not fallen off either.
Yeah, I don't know
So,
that she's left her prime yet. I think you're right. Like, I've noticed with women soccer players more so than men, the prime seems to go a little later. And I don't know that that's true across all women's sports, but we have two prominent examples of Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird
super,
in this city, right? That are like hard to
yeah.
ignore. But Jess Fishlock and Lou Barnes, who are two still pretty good players for the Rain, are older than Lynn Williams and still playing well. They're
Well,
not
it's
in their
kind of
prime.
wild because Lynn Williams is only a year younger than me. And I'm starting to think people that are around my age are old in sports terms. And I know this probably hit you at one point, but
Oh
it's
yeah, it
starting
was
to
the
hit me
worst.
where I'm like, wow, I'm cheering for people just always younger than me.
Yeah, my whole experience now is people younger than me. So
Yeah.
it's Brady was like the one that was holding on that felt great, Tom Brady, but I'm 45. Like there's nobody, like Mike McDonald is younger than me, I think. So the coaches are now getting younger. And I think everybody has that experience as a sports fan, but
Man, it's
um
crazy. She has two Olympic medals.
She's good. I mean,
Yeah.
she's and also there's a great podcast if we want to shout out another one. Sam Mewis does a podcast, and she interviewed Lynn Williams this week and
Yeah.
talked about the transition, and she wants to be on the West Coast. I think the Haidema, Lynn Williams, and Mondesir, who who plays for the Haitian national team, who we acquired last year, that's some firepower up front. The Rain in terms of roster construction, need to go find a midfielder still. Their midfield is just old. Well, it's really young or really old, right? It's Fishlock and Quinn, old on the older end. But then you have like 17 and 18 year olds in the midfield. And with Sofia Huerta gone from the back line on the outside, they just need a little bit more stability. But
Okay.
they couldn't score last year, and Lynn Williams could score. So I'm excited.
Do you want to hear something nuts?
Sure.
So I got interested. So I was like, Lynn Williams, she went to Pepperdine. Oh, she graduated in 2014. And then I crossed my head. Oh, I covered women's soccer at LMU. Let me go to the Loyal and type in Lynn Williams and see if I ever wrote anything about Lynn Williams. And in front of me, I have an October 6, 2011 article about it's a women's soccer preview. And here I preview each women's soccer team in the WCC, and I have
Yep.
something about Pepperdine. Fellow forward freshman Lynn Williams also leads the team in conference with 7 assists. That's all I said about her. She
She
could
was only
pass
a
the ball.
freshman.
She was
Yeah.
only a freshman and she's dishing it out. But Lynn Williams, I've written about you
Yeah.
before.
Welcome home, Lynn Williams, to the West Coast, where Kev will embrace you. It's great.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
crazy.
I my experience covering women's soccer in college was I still remember I would do like a stat leaderboard
Yeah,
at the Santa Clara newspaper. I'm sure no one else liked it, but I thought it was cool because the Santa Clara women's soccer team, my junior year went undefeated, no ties, no loss
yeah,
till the national semifinal. Like they were incredible. So it was a big deal. And I kept like the goal scorer, national leaders, and assist. And Abby
yeah,
Wambach kept showing up at the top of the list for Florida. And I'm like, who is this Abby Wambach? And then, of course, she ended up being
yeah.
arguably, I mean, she's one of the top two women soccer players in the history of the United States. So,
By the way, I was on Santa Clara's campus for a basketball game yesterday, and where we park is right near the soccer stadium. And I
yeah,
guess I've never really noticed how big, like, the soccer
yeah,
stadium seems colossal for a soccer stadium for some reason. It's kind of like a bowl, and
it
then
is
they
a
have
bowl.
like the
Yeah.
names of the legends. I thought it
Hmm.
was really cool. I want to go
Yeah.
watch a game there.
Yeah. It's a good place to go. I mean, they've renovated it since I was
Yeah,
there, but when I was there, it was like Ronnie Lott and Steve Young used to go to Santa Clara women's soccer games. Like that's how
yeah,
good they were.
yeah,
It was a cool thing in the Bay Area for sure.
yeah,
All right, so I'm excited about the Rain as a season ticket holder, getting to
yeah.
watch a much better team, I think. I'm hoping they're not all the way done. So let's move to the next one. Roster construction Sunday, December 22nd, in celebration of Christmas. How about
The crack.
yeah, the Kraken? They're really ruining my Christmas right now, Kev.
Yeah, they just lost again.
Ugh, I just don't get it. I'm frustrated. They'll play beautiful hockey for a while, and then they just can't win.
Yeah, it's an inconsistent team.
I went to, we talked about this last week. I went to the Bruins win 5-1. Bruins are a good team. Kraken were, the Bruins outplay them in different parts, but that's kind of what the Kraken do, right? And they hold
Yeah.
on and then they take advantage. And maybe this is why they can't be consistent. And they've just lost four in a row since then and looked flat. And they know they look flat because they acquired a former, I believe, number two overall pick in the 2019 draft, Capo Caco.
What a
No
name.
idea if I said that right. 23 years old from the New York Rangers. They traded Will Borgen, original Kraken member, um, who's a defenseman, kind of on the outside of the rotation. So they're trying to like find this guy in the Beniers Shane Wright category of pedigree as a high draft pick. Maybe this will work out. And I think that's the saddest thing about the roster construction. None of these young stars are becoming stars.
Yeah, I mean, how much of it is patience, though?
I don't know. I think the really good young players, Beniers especially, is like already good if you
Yeah.
look around the league, right? The true difference makers. Um, and I just don't. I think he might be like a nice rotation guy, or I don't know if they call it rotation in hockey, but he's on one of the lines. He'll be a guy that you play, but he's not a difference maker. They don't have any difference makers, and this is why the Kraken kind of suck. And it makes me sad. I don't have any answers for how they fix it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the Storm, and I don't even want to talk about the Storm because we talked about them last week.
But it's like the opposite, right?
Well, well, how
Because
do you mean?
because Storm are old. The Kraken are young.
Yeah, that's true. Um, in the Storm at least are a playoff team, right? The
Yeah.
Kraken
Or
were
not.
2 years ago, but aren't right now. But both in this, but they're just on this cusp of like they're not going to win a championship. You just know it based on how they're constructed.
Yes.
And so how are they going to do it? And there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
Because neither of them are going to tank. The Kraken are not going to tank. And even when they had high draft picks, they even last year and maybe this guy that they drafted last year will be a stud. They drafted another offensive player, and it's like baseball. You don't see him for 3 years. And you're right, there is some patience, but I don't know. They just don't have dudes like all these other teams seem to have. They have all these goal scorers. We just have like average guys. It reminds me of the Mariners a little bit, of just, oh no, he's good. And it's like, is Ty France really good? Right? Like that's kind of they're a bunch of Ty Frances. I don't need Ty Frances in my life. God, I'm getting depressed. I'm on break, Kev. I don't have to
Yeah.
coach. This is great. I went on a party bus last night.
Oh man.
I went out the night before. I got to tell you about the drink I ordered 2 nights ago, but we'll do that later.
Okay, so Kraken. Yeah, God. Um, how about the Sounders? I see that we have this topic called general allocation money. Do they
Yep.
call it GAM?
I don't know if people walk around and be like, how much GAM do the Sounders
I
have?
mean, it
But
definitely
it is,
sounds
it
like that from
is,
the articles.
yeah, it's shortened to that. But so maybe soccer people call it GAM.
I know someone I can ask that works for the MLS. I'm gonna
Oh,
ask him.
nice. All right. Um, I think the big thing that I sent you was people are very excited in MLS circles. This is the first time that the MLS has transparently like released how much it's essentially free agent money everybody has.
Yeah.
Um, because there is a cap, right? It's different, but there's a cap. And it's wild to me that they've never known. And this is one of the critiques of the MLS is nobody knows.
It's
Like,
like the actual product on television. Did you see those numbers? No one's actually watching the MLS because
yeah,
it's stuck behind the Apple TV paywall.
yeah.
It's a
The
bummer.
MLS Cup got a lower rating than like a USL second division game or something like ridiculous
Yeah.
because it was just more available. I know they've already said they're going to put more games on Fox and different things, but I'm not sure how Apple TV feels about that.
Yeah. It's a bad news.
I don't know
Anyways,
if
sorry.
Messi's in the final against the Galaxy, they might
People are
have
gonna pay money for
massive
Apple
numbers,
TV. Yeah.
but I don't know. It is people are calling it the biggest overpay in sports media history is what Apple TV did. Yeah, I think if you want people, it goes with the general point though. If you want people to be interested in your sport, you have to give them talking points. This is what MLB actually does a decent job of this in the offseason with the winter meetings and free agency. But the NFL is the king of it, right? They have a free agency period. They have the draft that everyone talks about. They have the combine, which I know people that watch the combine, like it's absolutely silly. So I think it's good for the MLS to have this transparent number release for each team. And it looks like the Sounders have enough money to go do something. They have traded twice for more money and given up international roster spots. So it appears they're not trying to go sign a bunch of young international guys or old international guys or whatever. It seems like they're really focused on this Dallas trade to get Paul Arriola and Jesus Ferrara. And Ferrara's like 23 and he's played for the US national team. So again, I think that's a huge upgrade. I think you take a couple guys who maybe have been disappointing, and you put them in the Sounders with Schmetzer and their culture, and you add them to Jordan Morris and Christian Roldan and some of these other guys, and I think they'll be okay. So I kind of like where that's heading. I just hope it gets finalized because it hasn't been finalized yet.
What's cool about this GAM stuff is it can be traded,
Yeah,
right? So you can
that is
trade,
cool.
you get up to like around 3 million and you can trade pieces of that for players and whatnot. So people can load up on GAM. I don't know if you can carry it over to the next year, but
No, but the Sounders in one of their trades traded for some GAM next year, which is wild. So they acquired $50,000 in 2026 GAM, which is amazing. Yeah, if they add Areola and Ferrara, and hopefully they go sign somebody else we've never heard of, I think they're fine. They definitely need to score. Like that was their problem this year. They even said it. Schmetzer said at the end of the year, going to the Western Conference Finals, we didn't have enough firepower. So if they go get a 23-year-old striker who can score, I mean, Ferrara, if you go look at his numbers, Kev, like this should be a bigger deal. I feel like people should be more excited. And maybe they're not because it's just a rumor still, although Sounder at Heart is pretty sure it's going to happen. Like they're reporting it more than they are a rumor. And MLS just doesn't have a ton of reporting, I guess. But I'm trying to find his numbers. I think he scored like 18 goals 2 seasons ago and 17 3 seasons ago. Like that's that's a lot more than Jordan Morris. So
what do we got next?
um so we constructed a bunch of rosters here, Kev. This is exciting. What do you think? What do you think the Sounders need? Anything else? Or you soccer too weird for you?
No, no, no. God. I mean, they
Here,
made it pretty far, right? So I don't think they're that far off. I think they're in a lot better position than the teams we've just discussed, which would be interesting to do is like how much
yeah,
more needs to be done. But I think they're in a better position than the Storm.
yeah. How
Yeah.
about your Seattle Mariners, Kev?
First base is looking dire.
Yeah, you worried?
Yeah, well, I was just looking up because I thought at one point Adam Jude reported that Justin Hollander was fired or let go.
Okay, I saw that too, and I think it was just a Twitter rumor.
Yeah. Speaking of Twitter rumors, I got some flack for not reporting on a rumor because I said it was a rumor. So I don't understand why people are getting all worked up. They're like, your job is to substantiate it. First of all, this is not my job. Like you've chosen to
Yeah.
follow me. I mean, maybe
Well,
I've taken
you
advantage.
present you present
Yes.
on Twitter like it's a job.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
do. But I mean, reasonable minds can disagree. But I was very clear that it was a rumor, and that's it. That's it. That's all I did. Anyways,
Well, I saw that same rumor, and I
yeah.
think it was just somebody trying to get likes.
Oh, we'll go off the record after this. This
Because
would be
no, I'm talking
great.
about the Justin
Yeah.
Hollander one. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
think I
yeah.
think that one was totally random. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It was weird. But
See, that's worse than what I did.
oh, it's way worse. It's
Yeah.
somebody's job. And I almost like brought it up on the like you did. Like I almost
Yeah.
brought it up with you last week because like this is a big story.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So they got
I
Hollander and Dipoto trying to figure out what to do. But here's what's happened for people who are not following all the baseball hot stove. There's a bunch of first basemen that the Mariners could have. They don't have a first baseman. They have Luke Raley, who's not really a first baseman, who really hits right-handed pitching only. He's a platoon guy. They also don't really have a second baseman or a third baseman. Like they have guys who could play those positions, but not for a team that wants to make the playoffs. They need to supplement. And they have said they're going to fill one of the positions at some point. Here's the room. Here's the not the rumor. Here's the worry. Josh Naylor, who plays for Cleveland, was rumored to be Seattle was interested. He got traded to the Diamondbacks. Christian Walker, who's Diamondbacks first baseman, who I love, signed with the Astros. Nathaniel Lowe, who the Rangers were never going to trade to the Mariners, but got traded to the Nats. He's a first baseman. So the Nats have filled a spot. Paul Goldschmidt signed with the Yankees.
Future
He's
Hall of
old.
Famer,
Yeah,
probably.
I didn't want him. Carlos Santana, who everybody seemed to love in Seattle, went back to Cleveland. So, I mean, I guess Pete Alonso's still out there. I don't think the Mariners are going to sign Pete Alonso.
Dude, I honestly, I think Cal Raleigh has a better chance of being a first baseman than Pete Alonso. I mean, I don't think that's what they're going to do, but it does make me. I raised this question in a comment on another blog about they're looking at, and I can't remember where I read this, but they were looking at the value of Cal Raleigh compared to other catchers, and
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh's great, but eventually his value goes down. And my question was, well, does your calculus change in giving Cal Raleigh an extension if you know you can shift him to first base, which has been done before. Catchers,
Yeah,
and I
but
can't think of something off the top of my head, but eventually he will move to first base. I don't know when.
his value goes way down
You
because
think?
he's a 210 hitter who hits bombs, but he hits less bombs than Pete Alonso.
Mm,
I mean, Pete Alonso is going to make a lot of money, probably, although it's nobody knows where he's going to go. Cal Raleigh is the best defensive catcher in the Major League Baseball. So, like, to me, that's where his value is. And you can take the fact that he hits 210 and hits 35 bombs or whatever. So, I don't know. I think his value goes down if he goes to first. I mean, he's still better than what we have, which is part of the
yeah.
problem.
I mean, we have holes. We have holes at third base, we have holes at
Hall's
first base,
everywhere.
and holes at second base. And they've done nothing. They've not signed one hitter. That
No,
they've not done nothing through free agency.
no, they haven't done anything. In the free agent market, I mean, Justin Turner's there. If they re-signed Justin Turner for a decent deal and found a way to upgrade third or second, like we talked about with Patrick on our podcast, like go get Alec Baum from Philly, sign Justin Turner. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm good.
Yeah.
Bring back my guy Ty France.
Yeah,
Probably not.
my favorite meme was the Marvel meme. Where did your failure bring you? Back to me. And it's like Thanos and it's like Ty France on the bottom of it. It's so great.
I don't think I can handle. I like Ty France a lot, but when you watch somebody and you just know when they're gonna fail because you watch them every day for years. Yeah, baseball's hard that way. It's just I'm done with it. I don't. Yeah, I don't want it
Yeah.
anymore. So
You sound like every Kook fan.
it's kind. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some second baseman out there still, and I mean, maybe the Mariners are going all in on Sasaki, the pitcher who has not been signed yet, can't be signed till the middle of January. But if they do that, I don't know what's left. Like, there's not going to be any players left to sign to hit. So,
Just what the Mariners need, more pitching. Just makes perfect
I mean,
sense to go
theoretically,
all
they could
in.
trade one of them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
in some ways, there's a lot of rumors from Red Sox writers and bloggers and different people saying this will revive a Red Sox Mariners trade.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo for Tristan Casas, which
Okay, I'm not
I would.
feeling too bad about my rumor reporting. Sorry, I'm still on this
Yeah.
because baseball reporters post rumors all the freaking time.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
All right, I'm done.
No, you know what? I don't know that the actual writers do, but people like you
Yeah.
who are not
Yeah.
actual writers, but people
And
think they are.
sometimes we hit. Like I've not missed. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sounds like you missed one. Um, I think they need to trade a pitcher. I don't want any of the young ones though. I'm still on the trade Louise and go get some real hitters in return. But I don't know. Here's the thing about baseball. You're once you get past Christmas, you get into January, you start saying like, well, it's okay, there's still time. And then all of a sudden pitchers and catchers are reporting in February and you're rolling out Dylan Moore and Ryan Bliss and Luke Raley as your infield and it's not going to be good. So
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the solution, not to do anything and just like count on everyone to improve. Who knows?
that's one of the Mariners bloggers, got Nathan Bishop, who has a Substack now. I think it's called "It's a Light Bat" after the Edgar
Yeah,
commercial,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and his whole thing is no moves, don't make any moves.
And that was
Because
Patrick Leary said the same thing about second base.
what I
Just
like
not let
about
it ride.
what Nathan Bishop said is he's basically like, have you seen all the moves they made? They don't work, right? So we go get whoever. You trade for this person, you sign this person, AJ Pollock, and all these guys, and none of them work. So just try the opposite. And it's a little bit in jest, but maybe it's true. Just
Yeah.
keep all the pitchers, roll out some of the young guys. You know, Patrick really wants to see Cole Young come up
Yeah.
and play second base. And I mean, I'm fine with the young guys at second, and Dylan Moore can fill in until the young guys are ready. But you gotta fill third or first. You gotta get somebody.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right, Mariners, we are worried. All right,
Yeah.
Husky football. This is where I turn it over to you.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. So I've been covering the transfer portal
Well, here's my
and
question.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll set it up for you, and then
yeah.
I'll let you cook, as the 11-year-olds say. Felix told people today we played full court 101 basketball.
Did he tell you he cooked you?
He went home and told everybody. He's like, "Oh yeah, I cooked my dad." And I was like, "Bruh, who won all the shooting drills?" Me. He's just faster than me. Okay. What are my goal for the Huskies when I'm watching these college football playoff games is like,
Yeah.
I want the Huskies to be in the top 4 next year in the Big Ten. You're
It's
laughing because
not
yeah,
gonna happen.
okay, Kev, but what do they need to do to
Yeah.
make that happen? So Oregon's going to be there, I would guess. Ohio
Yeah.
State's going to be there.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oregon,
Penn
Ohio
State.
State. I think Michigan's gonna be back.
Okay, Michigan,
Yeah.
Penn State, right?
Michigan, Penn State. Yeah.
But is it possible the Huskies could break into that 4 if they had a nice offseason?
I mean,
You're the
maybe.
one who was saying they're going to go
Yeah.
beat Penn State and Penn State this year. Now you're backing
Yeah.
off?
No, dude, now I have perspective. Now I have perspective, right? Because the team was coming off of a national championship, and I know they lost everyone, but now being in the Big Ten for a year, uh, I think I'm more realistic. And
I think I did say they would win 3 games next year when I looked at the
yeah,
schedule.
I
So,
don't think they're gonna only win three. I think they're gonna be better, but it's gonna be incremental.
okay,
It
well,
really
what do they have
is.
to do to
Yeah.
compete in the top 4, top 5, top 6 in the Big Ten? You know,
Oh,
what do they got
yeah.
to do?
Okay, the offensive line needs to be average and the defensive line needs to be great. And I think that's the most realistic outcome. The trenches were the issue this year,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's realistic to think that the offensive line gets good. I think it's okay to expect them to be average. Um, but if you add enough dudes on the defensive line, you could see some things change. And I think that was an issue this past year. Teams just ran on them
Yeah.
and they just lost. And it was pretty easy to recognize.
So
So
my reporting, which is to steal from the Seattle Times,
yeah.
says that they have 3 guys they've added on D line in the portal.
Yes.
Arizona guy, Utah guy, Western Michigan guy. And
Yeah.
you I think have tweeted all 3 of those as well.
Yeah.
Which one's the
Yeah.
best?
Actually, Ontario Thompson from Western Michigan,
Really?
6'3", 293, played 410 snaps, 29 tackles, and 1 sack last season. He started at Iowa. He's a big dude, and he's still kind of like raw. I think he'd be the best. I mean, the guy from Utah, he has a lot of experience too, but his production isn't there.
Okay.
It's hard to get excited. I mean, in general, these transfer portal, it's kind of like uh someone asked me like if I could rate the portal class out of 10 so far,
Yep.
what it would be, and I said 6.5. I think they're filling needs, but I I have a hard time going above 6.5 because there's no one that pops out to my eye that says, whoa,
There's no Jonah Coleman from
instant
last year.
impact. Yeah, there's no Michael Penix, right? Or
Yeah. Wow.
it's just not there, right? So the one guy that's exciting is an offensive tackle from Kansas State whose biggest honor is all Big 12 in 2023. He got
Okay.
honorable mention, Carver Willis. Like that's who
Yep.
I'm excited about. Like no one's gonna get excited about him, and it's gonna be hard to tell from his impact because he's one dude,
Yep.
but he's the starting left tackle. Like they
You
just
think so? Like
yeah,
he
they
just
just
moves
got
in?
someone. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a 2-year starter.
I'm
12.
excited about the other Hatchet brother coming back
Yeah, that's
because he
exciting.
actually played on the line for the
Yeah.
national championship
team.
participating
Yeah, yeah,
team.
yeah,
He and the other Hatchet's there, right? And so I don't know. He went to Oklahoma and he got hurt, but he was
yeah.
playing at Oklahoma. Feels like sort of legit.
Yeah, it's just tough because someone was saying, yeah, he's probably the worst out of all the guys on the offensive line that year, which is fair, but who
But
knows?
doesn't that make him the best if he had stayed? I mean, they did struggle, but
Yeah.
Jonah Coleman still had holes to run through. Adam
Oh,
Muhammad
yeah.
still had holes, so they weren't the Seahawks offensive line. The Seahawks offensive line is just a dumpster fire mixed with poop. Like it's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, anyways, I think the portal, so people can enter up until the 28th.
yep.
Fish said they'd add 10 to 12, although he said he'd add 15. Now I'm getting corrected on Twitter. It's so annoying. I'm pretty sure he said 10 to 12.
I love how annoyed you get with everybody.
Yeah.
You want all the attention, but you don't
Yeah.
want any of the
I don't
smoke.
want the smoke. No, no, no. I just want to tweet in peace. Um, yeah, so right now they're up to 11. Um, they added they've added some guys. And then they'll have more guys enter the portal, which means they're probably gonna have more needs to fill. But one thing that they haven't filled yet is receiver. They have five incoming receivers as freshmen, and someone said that's not an issue. They have five coming in. I'm like, but they're freshmen. Like you need depth
Yeah.
and experience, and you have Denzel Boston, and I think that's it. Like I can't
Is
think of
is
anyone
Boston
else.
gonna come back?
Yeah, he's coming back. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the
But
way, he said he was tampered with. Like people were contacting him and Coleman, even though
yeah.
they weren't in the portal.
Well, shocker. Um Giles Jackson's a senior, right? A
Yeah, he's
receiver. He's
gone.
gone. He's been
Yeah,
there for like
he's
ever.
gone. He's gone.
And then who was the other guy that was getting all the catches this year? Boston Jackson and
Decker DeGraff was the tight end.
I feel like
Quentin.
they had another receiver who was getting catches besides Jackson and
Someone's yelling
Boston.
right now because they're like, you
Yeah.
forgot about so and so.
Well, nobody in my life, because nobody in my life loves Husky football as much as you, Kev.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm trying to see what they need. I feel like at tight end they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Quarterback they'll be fine. Running back they'll be fine. Um, Jeremiah Hunter, he's gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone. He was a senior at Cal.
Okay, yeah. So they'll
They
have
need him.
Boston and nobody else, right?
Yeah, I mean,
They
they'll
need
have a
to.
bunch of freshmen. I think they really need like
They
an
need a portal.
upperclassman.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be
they need
happy
a
with like
Jeremiah
an
Hunter. They need to go get a
or
Jeremiah Hunter.
like an FCS guy, right? That just wants to play big time
Wasn't there
ball.
a rumor of some receiver that you were reporting on?
Yeah, maybe at one point.
I
It's
feel
kind of
like there was.
nice though because I cannot follow like 500 people once they choose a school. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I like that you've come to my side, even though I tried to flip it on you and you said there's no way the Huskies will be good next year, basically.
No, they're not gonna be top four.
Yeah, it's really hard in the Big Ten.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
think the Husky men's basketball team will be top four this year in the Big Ten?
Oh, well, they got some help. The guy from France came in
Oh,
and
yeah. Speaking of roster construction, in January, there might be like an NBA dude added to the Husky basketball roster.
like, dude, they got to get these like
It's kind of
recruits
wild.
in. Yeah.
What's his name?
Let's see.
It's like Traore or something, or am I making that up?
No, you're not. Let's figure it out right now.
Yeah, this was wild. I mean, he was going to be on the team potentially. Then it went quiet. Then
Then
it
they
was like he's
press
gone. And then
release.
all of a sudden, oh, one day
Dominique
ago.
Diomande.
Oh, it's official, like from the UW a day
Yeah.
ago.
Yep. Six
So
seven
he's been
wing
really added.
projected to be a top 50 pick.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
when is he eligible?
January.
What does it say that in the article, or is that what people are
Says he's
guessing?
here for the 2024-25 season.
Right, but can he play like their next game, or is it why is it
I
January?
mean, why wouldn't they? Because that's when the semester starts.
Oh, yeah, so he's
That's when
probably
the
got to be
quarter starts.
enrolled and
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting.
Roll him out there with Tyler Harris.
He's 6'7", Dominique Diomande, as you said. Let's see, what do we got?
He
Have you
was
watched his
playing in
highlights
the
at all?
yeah, he was playing the U21 league in France, averaging 16 points per game. Seems like a guy Gonzaga would add. like and be good.
Oh wait, Traore is the other guy. What happened to him?
No idea.
He's a 6'11" guy. Remember he was at New Mexico State? He's also from France. Is he even on the roster? I'm
No, no,
so
no. That's the guy that's coming next year.
next year. That's who I was
Yeah,
thinking of. Okay.
yeah.
Oh wait, this is a great note because they have 13 scholarship players. He will initially enter as a walk-on.
That's so
So
great.
this NBA prospect is going to be a walk-on that some whale in Montlake is just paying tons of money to
Oh
to
my
be a
gosh.
walk-on at
Uh,
Seattle at UW. I'm still trying to figure out when he can play. Like this is driving
I'm
me
pretty
crazy.
sure he can play in January. I mean, there's
Expected to be available in January. So he's
yeah,
working on getting a US visa and all that stuff.
yeah.
They play
Seattle U tomorrow.
and then they play new NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology on the 29th.
Uh,
And then they're Maryland January 2nd. So we're hoping maybe
yeah,
Maryland.
yeah, but like, can you just imagine? Like, he's probably maybe next week starting practice, and then I just can't imagine him getting integrated that quickly. Like, he's not going to be able to do anything.
I don't know, Kev. This is a good question. What sport can you just jump in? I mean, I think baseball's the easiest. You just put them in the
Yeah,
lineup, right? So that's fine. Baseball's
yeah.
got to be the easiest of the major sports. I feel like in some ways, depending on what position you play, football, like you can add a receiver and give them like four routes that they can run.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like the
But
Baker Mayfield thing where he like joined the Rams within like 3 days and was
that's true.
starting.
And he
And
won a
like
game. Yeah.
he won a game. Remember that?
Yep.
Basketball, at least the way the Husky offense runs, I don't think he really needs to be at practice because they just set ball picks and drive
Well, that's
into
what I mean. And the way
lane.
basketball
Like
is now, it's like spacing and, he's probably, yeah, just space out and be ready to catch and shoot.
hell, for all we know, he might be the dude and he might be telling like bossing people in French, like, get out of my way,
Who
set me a
knows?
screen.
Who knows? Maybe.
Get out of my lane, great
I feel
Osibor.
like soccer and hockey would be the two hardest because there's so much chemistry to do that,
Do
right?
you realize that the Huskies now have a Frenchman and an Englishman leading them? We're like so far away from
Wait,
Europe.
who's the Englishman?
Great Osabor's from England.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Well, I'm
Uh,
sure hoping that they go and beat Maryland on January 2nd so they start getting
Yeah.
relevant in the Big Ten because otherwise it'll be boring. But there you
And
go,
I
roster
sure hope they
construction.
can recruit in Seattle and not have to go to Europe to just find guys that can play basketball. Anyways,
Here's my hot take on that, Kev. There's a lot of people in the Seattle basketball community, which is a hotbed, as you know.
yeah.
I mean, it's still underrated in terms of, how many NBA dudes we have kind of per capita. I don't care. I don't care if everybody's like, build a fortress, keep them home. I don't care. They can go wherever they want. I just want good basketball.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
that's
feel like you
fair.
don't need all you got to do is get four guys a year. Although with
Yeah.
the transfer portal, it's probably like eight guys a year. But with the portal and all that stuff, I don't care if the best player from Beach or Garfield or O'Day or, whatever, Mount Si, whatever the good teams
Seattle
are,
prep.
Yeah. I don't care if they go. I mean, well, obviously I'd love it if kids I taught went there, but um I just want to watch good basketball and it's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah.
So, um I'm sure for their families and for everybody at school and it's more fun to watch, but with streaming and everything, I don't really care where they go. So,
And I
that's
think
my hot.
Husky basketball, we were ripping them for their losses to USC and UCLA, but 8-3 out of the non-conference so far. They have games against SU and GIT. They could go 10-3 out of the non-conference.
I mean, that's
Essentially 10-1.
solid in your first year for Danny Sprinkle.
ten and
The
1 in the
problem is,
non-conference.
yeah, but the problem is they're 0-2 in the Big Ten, right? And they've lost
Yeah.
to two teams. I mean, maybe USC and UCLA are better than some of the traditional Big Ten teams that they're going to
Yeah.
face, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That 0-2 start was tough. If they had found a way to split, I'd be really hyped because they played well against the Cougs. And that
Yeah.
was we were texting the Cougs Husky basketball game. I guess it wasn't sold out. But it looked hyped on TV.
Yeah.
And then
People
shout
showed
out
up.
Isaiah Watts, Donald Watts' son, Slick Watts' grandson, who absolutely dunked all over Great Osabar and then got a tech for talking ish to him in his face. Oh, although I didn't like, I think he was trying to pull the whole Peyton Pritchard thing. This is my city. Like everybody who played in Seattle, when they play UW, makes a play, they want to say, "This is my city." It's like, no, it's not. It's not your city. It's not your city. It's not Michael Porter's city. He lived here for
Yeah.
9 months. No.
Yeah.
If it's anybody's city, it's Jamal Crawford's. But
Yeah.
even him, he came up as a fifth year senior to Beach. He was in LA before that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I should be saying it's
Brandon Roy.
my city.
Brandon Roy can say it's his city.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely can. So can Nate Robinson.
Nate Rob, he could
Oh
say
no,
it's
wait,
his
he
city.
was no. He was from the Bay Area too.
Yeah, but he's been here forever now too. Same
Yeah.
with, I mean, I don't know. Those guys can maybe say it's their city, but not
Yeah.
not Isaiah Watts. Sorry. All right, we constructed all the rosters, Kev. We did it,
Yeah. We
or we at
did.
least
Well,
talked about it.
you don't want to talk about the storm?
I don't know what can we add from, we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
There's not there's Here's what I would say. What's happening? Is there a roster freeze in the WNBA right? Oh, we talked about this. It's probably the CBA negotiation, so nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean the Valkyries expansion draft was pretty huge, right? So people lost players. Um, I did read that uh one of the reasons why like the Storm were getting mocked because the Valkyries didn't take anybody, but it didn't seem like anybody on the Storm was the right fit because the
They didn't have
roster
anybody
is
they could take.
old.
Well, yeah, and there's
Yeah.
all these like roster rules. So Agumake, right? Like she had an exemption because she'd been twice maxed or whatever it was. Like she couldn't be selected.
Yeah.
Gabby Williams is a free agent. She couldn't be selected. There's all these rules. So like the only player they could have selected was the Storm's 10th player in the rotation.
They're like,
Like,
nope.
of course they don't want that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the Valkyries really got any. Well, no, I don't really think they got anybody who's going to make them great. You know, I mean, they got Kate Martin. That was like the big news because everybody loves Kate Martin
It's
from Iowa,
huge. Yeah.
but she's a role player. She's a ninth person on a good team. So, what are you going to do with that? Valkyries aren't going to win any games. I mean, at least the Storm have some star power still, theoretically. But I think we got to wait for some news. I don't know what they should do. Um, if anything, I think they should blow it up. They should trade Jewel Lloyd for the number 3 overall pick and blow it up. But that's me.
All right.
We constructed all the rosters, deconstructed, constructed, talked about how worried we were, and all people know now is nothing. They know nothing after this. Merry Christmas, everybody. The Kraken suck.
Oh man.
Mariners have no players. Kev has no faith in Washington Husky football. The Storm are a mess.
Wait. I
But
have faith.
we have a little hope in our soccer teams.
Yeah. I have faith. I'm just, you know.
You what, Kev? You want to talk about the
Yeah.
Seahawks? Because I will not. I will
No,
not talk
no,
about them
I
today.
don't want to talk about the Seahawks.
Because the only roster construction they need to do is to figure out what to do at the offensive line and a quarterback. And I'll leave it at that. We've already talked about it. We've
Yeah.
beaten that drum. So
They should have drafted a quarterback. Anyways, okay.
yep. Michael Penix, baby.
What is our top five?
Top 5, baby. It's a holiday season. People loved last week. So we're gonna do another draft. This time holiday movies.
Do I get the first pick since you got the first pick last week?
Did I take the first pick last week?
Yeah.
You didn't go away in a manger, number
Oh
one
no,
overall?
wait. I think I did.
That's
Okay,
okay. You can
get
go first. You're fine.
okay. I mean,
Go for it.
Elf.
Yeah,
Elf is now over 20 years old,
that's wild.
and it's probably not even Will Ferrell's best movie. It's probably top five.
Well, that's another top 5 to do.
Yeah, top
Will
five Will
Ferrell's
Ferrell
top 5
movies.
movies. I mean,
My favorite scene from Elf is when it's actually the opening montage where it's showing Will Ferrell like grow as an elf and he kind of doesn't realize that he's just so out of place and he's like showering in a little elf shower. I find it hilarious. So this might be too much information, but I lived in the top of a converted convent after I graduated from college, and I
Wow,
taught.
this is wild.
Yeah, I taught at Catholic schools, and so you live in community with nine other people, and we're all kind of straight out of college, and um, the convent is built for nuns, and so I shared a shower with a roommate of mine who's um, played football in college, random fact. And we both shared this one shower. And the shower was so small. And so whenever I took a shower, I felt like I was Will Ferrell in Elf in the opening montage.
Wait, this roommate of yours must have felt even worse. He
Yeah,
was
he
a
was a
college
bigger
football
dude.
player.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver at Holy Cross. And yeah, we always laughed about it
I like that,
because
Kev. That's a
these
good story.
um these bathrooms were not made for full-grown men. They were made for nuns.
Small nuns.
So
I think most nuns are small, I feel like.
yeah, yeah.
By the way, Kev, how do you feel about Sister Act? Thinking speaking of nuns and movies.
Sister Act with
With
Whoopi
Whoop.
Goldberg.
Yeah, you ever seen it?
We had it on VHS at home. Um, I don't remember anything that happens in
Mm.
that movie, just that they're singing.
What about Sister Act 2? Do you remember anything about that?
No.
Here's a fun fact about Sister Act 2. This is why it's so kind of it's got like a lore to it. Is that
Yeah.
Sister Act 2 featured Lauryn Hill as one of the
Oh,
people in it. Yep.
yes. I know
And
about Lauren Hill.
Lauren Hill was great in Sister Act 2. Back in the Habit. That's a good one. But that's not my pick because it's not a holiday movie. So you took here's what I want to talk about Elf. What's the line in Elf that you find yourself just saying randomly the most?
Oh. Santa, I know him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then he goes, he's a fraud.
I said to someone the other day, this is one I say all the time. I hope you find your dad
Yeah, we always do that one
from the
too.
narwhal.
Yeah. Bye, buddy. I hope you
Uh,
find your
it's
dad.
so good. That one's a good one. And then, for a while when the movie first came out, I felt like a lot of my friends would do, does syrup have sugar on it? Then yes. That was a good one too.
Uh,
Elf quotes are great. Okay. I'm gonna go solid Home Alone. It's my top pick.
mm,
The original. Um Kevin McAllister, it's a goat performance from Macaulay Culkin. Like Kevin's great. Catherine O'Hara, who is a phenomenal actress, obviously Schitt's Creek and everything else in between,
yeah.
Beetlejuice. She's great. There's, it's just awesome. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern as the robbers, the wet bandits. I love that part. Make sure they know where the wet bandits. Write it down. Um, the scene at the end, where he comes through all the tricks in the house. Like I could watch it. If that's on, I'm stopping. I think that's the key to a movie.
Yeah.
So if there's earlier parts, I'll probably get sucked in, but like if I know that part's coming up at the end, I love it. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So I think Home Alone, the original, is great.
I mean, I still have people that just like, they're like, Kevin. They like see me and then they like get to
Oh
know
yeah,
me
I
and then they
bet you
get
do.
really comfortable. The other one that the other thing about that movie is I was out in Chicago for a conference and one of the people that I met was they were really excited to go see the Home Alone
Yeah,
house, which you
yeah.
can go see in the suburb of Chicago. And I'm blanking on where we were, but we weren't that far. And they went to go see, the house, which
Let
I
me
think
tell you.
is an interesting thing. Go ahead.
Well, let me tell you about the Home Alone house because this is actually a great segue by you. It's for sale. Oh, sorry, it just sold 2 days ago.
Oh, it was for
Just
sale.
$5.25 million. Okay. It looks the same on the outside, but on the inside, and you can find this on TikTok, there is, as you go in and you go downstairs, which is where the radiator was in the movie and is all scary. Oh no, there's a home theater down there. And then if you keep moving along downstairs, a full indoor basketball court at the Home Alone house. And it's sweet looking. It's awesome. The Home Alone house is very cool.
Ah, yeah.
So it doesn't ruin anything for the movie for me.
Yeah.
It's great. My family is currently watching Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which we'll see if it makes our list. But what do you got? What's your next pick?
I got a random movie that I really enjoyed watching.
Oh, here we go. Here come
20
the hot takes.
Lindsay Lohan came out with a
Oh
Netflix
boy.
movie called
Oh
Our
Jesus.
Little Secret,
Kevin.
and it was funny.
Kev, why do you do this to yourself? This is just gonna be Caroline just being like, I knew it. Although she probably likes the movie, but
Oh, she loved it.
she's like, Elsner's gonna roast you so bad about this. And I am, because you passed up some classics, even some new classics
I
for a
mean,
Lindsay Lohan Netflix movie.
I'm like
Really?
watching, I'm like looking at some of these lists and I'm like, yeah, these are good, but none of them are
Kev,
great.
I thought Away in a Manger was bad. You just picked a movie no one's watched except for you.
No, no,
These
no.
people have sang Away in a Manger in like a nativity play in grade school.
Yeah. Wait for
Nobody
it,
else.
Seattle.
If
Wait
it's
for
if
wait.
it's not Mean Girls or Freaky Friday or The Parent Trap, those are the three. Those are the only
Yeah.
ones. Is it Falling for Christmas? Is that what it is?
No, no, no. That was hers last year.
Oh
This
boy.
one is called Our Little Secret.
It
Um,
sounds even worse.
so it was let me just give you the one sentence synopsis. So it's about two people that were dating and then they broke up. And then years later, they find each other at the same Christmas house dating the siblings of, so they're dating people that are siblings. And so it just revolves around this controlling mother. And it's so funny and it's just so great. It's like classic Lindsay Lohan.
Wait,
And
there is no classic Lindsay Lohan.
oh,
The
no,
fact that
no,
you
no,
just
no,
said
no, no,
that,
no, no,
like
no.
as if people are like, oh,
Also,
classic Lindsay
else,
Lohan.
else, the fact that you named Freaky Friday, Parent Trap,
I was
and
Googling. I was
you
Googling,
forgot
Kev.
Mean Girls. You totally,
No,
you
I
didn't.
said Mean
Did you
Girls.
say Mean Girls?
Run the
Okay.
tape back. I said it.
Okay. Okay. I just
Rotten
wanted to make
Tomatoes,
sure.
Our Little Secret, 38%. That is
So
awful.
bad. Anyways, I
Uh,
enjoyed it. Go watch it.
let me see.
Listeners, if you're listening to this and you watched Our Little Secret and it made you laugh, please let us know.
Here's
Thank
a
you.
review on just actually today. Our Little Secret attempts to deliver a heartwarming holiday rom-com with a quirky premise, but ultimately ends up as a forgettable and predictable festive flick. That's what people are saying about this, Kev. All right, my second pick. I'm gonna go definitely more traditional. Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase. I think everyone will agree. This is on everybody's list. In the Elsner household, my parents, every Thanksgiving, as soon as Thanksgiving over, go home and they play this movie. And now my sister watches it. It is a tradition. It is how you kick off the Christmas season. There are lines left and right that are phenomenal in this movie, unlike Our Little Secret, which has no redeemable lines that anyone would ever quote. But Christmas Vacation does. Kev, do you know that movie at all? Do you know Christmas Vacation? I hope you
No,
do. You're
no,
joking me right now.
nope.
I can't handle podcasting with you sometimes.
It's awesome because we come from different. I mean, we have crossover. Are you considered a millennial still?
No, here's what someone told me this week. They
Yeah.
said it's as if Kevin's the old one and you're the young one. But this in this case, it actually is probably because you're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christmas Vacation is an older movie. Kev, you got to go
Yeah.
watch it. It's phenomenal.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
Julia Louis Dreyfus is one of the best characters. She's the neighbor who's obnoxious and Chevy Chase. Oh, it's just classic Chevy Chase lines, left and right. As well as Randy Quaid as his cousin you got to watch it tonight, Kev. I don't know what else to say. Like I'm really disappointed right now. Can you
All
promise me
right.
you're gonna watch it in the next
I
four
have to
four
find it.
days?
I have to find where I can watch it.
It's
But
available
yeah,
everywhere. It's Christmas Vacation, Kev.
watch
It's so
options.
good.
Oh, I can watch it on YouTube. Oh, it might be on Disney Plus too.
Now you're sharing. Now you're
Yeah.
sharing your youth. I'll watch it on YouTube. You're like my kids.
Uh,
Did I watch Christmas Vacation or Mr. Beast videos on YouTube? All right.
okay,
I
I
have
get next pick.
no idea what's gonna happen next.
It's so great. The ultimate Christmas present in 2000. This is a Disney Channel original movie, and
Wait,
this
did you
person.
already say the name of the movie?
Yeah, the ultimate Christmas present.
I've never heard of this one either.
That's why it's so great.
Oh my God.
So they the premise is these kids live in LA and they want Christmas to start. So they find a weather machine and they use it to make snow and they use it to get a snow day and they don't have to turn into paper. There's much more to it. Brenda's song is in it, Haley Hirsch. It was during the heyday of Disney Channel original movies, but everyone remembers this one. This one is always in um the core set of Disney Channel original movies. Anyways,
I
that is
mean,
my. Did
it
you look
doesn't
it
even
up?
have a rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It has two reviews on the entire site because it's so obscure. But people like it, apparently, these two
Yeah,
people. So,
yeah.
Kev, I don't know what to say. That is, your choices are actually worse than your song draft. Okay. My next one you've never seen for sure, but it's really good. I'm going to go watch it tonight, I think. It's Scrooged with Bill Murray. It's
I
so
think I
good.
do remember that. Yeah.
It's great. It's very 80s. You know, he has Christmas past, Christmas present. It's a Christmas Carol story, but it's Scrooged. He's a Scrooge, and he turns it around, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It always gets me in the holiday spirit, which is weird because it's kind of like Bill Murray humor and sort of long. It probably is a little longer than it needs to be, but I love Scrooged. I think it's great. I think Bill Murray's awesome. That probably tells you how old I am because I like Bill Murray. You probably don't even know who Bill Murray is.
I do know who Bill Murray is. He's in Space Jam. Come
But
on.
you All right, your
Get
pick.
in the hole. So great.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I have anything left. I honestly don't. Like I'm
Kev.
looking at I have
Kev,
I
you just picked two movies no one has ever heard of except for you and maybe your
yeah,
sister.
that's
And
why
then
it's
you
so
said I
great.
have no more left.
Okay, let me just ask you this though. Are there any like Christmas special movies that you like or like TV shows where they have like a Christmas special?
Um, Probably, but I can't
Think of any off the top of your
think
head.
of what it like. Does The Office have a Christmas episode that's good?
No, like I want to cheat though because there were some really good New Girl.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna cheat and say I
So you're
really,
just picking a New Girl episode.
yeah.
Kev, you're so bad at drafting. I'm gonna tell you right now that I'm gonna pick Preacher's Wife, starring Denzel Washington and Whitney Houston.
See, I've never heard of this movie.
People
Is
are
it
gonna
even a
people
Christmas movie?
it's a little bit it's a Christmas movie. It's a little bit more of a hot take. The other ones are like standard. People anywhere from 25 to 75 are gonna be like Elsner just absolutely eviscerated Kevin again in this draft. And then I went Preacher's Wife and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's like when the Seahawks stretch for Aaron Curry, you know, in the draft. That's what I just did. But Denzel is Denzel. And like if you love Denzel like I do, then really whatever Denzel does is great. And then you add Whitney Houston who sings in the movie.
Oh, she
Denzel's a
sings.
Yeah, it's good. There's some original songs that are amazing. Um Denzel's a ghost and he comes down, to try and save the Christmas spirit. I think you'd like this one maybe more than Christmas Vacation because you're a kind of a sappy guy. You like the
Well,
emotions.
Denzel Washington, I like it. I like when he's the villain though, or he's like the even like
Yeah.
in Remember the Titans, he's a mean guy, right? He
Yeah, yeah.
plays
I
the
know
mean
I know
guy
what
so
you're saying.
well.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're saying. But you gotta give this a shot.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any others?
No, I just pulled up a list of the
Jesus.
best New Girls Christmas
You didn't even
episodes.
pick like How the
But
Grinch Stole
yeah,
Christmas
oh
or
no, no,
Christmas
no, no.
Story
No,
or
I don't want to.
anything.
I don't want to elevate things that I don't think are that good. Like,
Kevin, you picked some Disney movie special from 2000 and then you won't elevate movies people watch every year.
yeah.
TNT has a Christmas Story on for 24 straight hours, but you're like, I don't want to elevate it.
I mean, honestly though, like the other what my like non-Christmas movie that I think is a Christmas movie, like Harry Potter. Um,
Why is
uh,
Harry Potter a Christmas movie?
because every school year there's Christmas and something happens in the books and the movies during Christmas. So
That's like
that's
saying
why.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I mean, it's on the list. It's
Ah,
on all these lists. Uh,
this is
we
unbelievable.
should have sent each other gifts and opened them. That's for
That'll be
next
our
Christmas.
that'll be next Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for apparently there's a lot of South Park Christmas episodes people like.
Those ones are funny.
I don't have yeah, I don't know if there's a
I
television show. I'm gonna
what's
add to my
really
list because I've only gotten to four and you gave up already. So
Yeah, what's really funny is that I mentioned New Girl and I actually went to a Zoe Deschanel Christmas concert and it was the worst Christmas concert I've ever been to. Anyways,
that's amazing.
I'll never go again to watch her live. It was bad.
As she was singing.
Yeah, she's part of a band called She and Him, and they have
Yeah.
two Christmas albums. And Christine and I went in Oakland. It was horrible, boring. I fell asleep.
Uh yeah, I don't even know what to say. That's great. There's a Drunk History Christmas episode that might be good. Do you ever watch Drunk History? Those are great.
I do, yeah,
Yeah,
I
those are good.
do. Those are great.
Here are the ones I'm gonna add that you might actually like more because you're so young. 8-Bit Christmas. It's on Netflix. Pretty solid. It has some video game parts to it. I was real skeptical. We watched it a couple years ago. Not bad. The other one on Netflix, starring Anna Kendrick, Noelle.
Yeah, I fell
Oh,
asleep during that one.
oh, Noelle's great because she goes to Phoenix to the Phoenix Suns. I love the Phoenix
Oh,
Suns references. I like the Phoenix Suns.
yeah.
Um, no, 8-Bit Christmas is solid. It's a solid one. Yeah. Um, there's a bunch more. I don't really hang with the like old school. It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. I don't really watch those. So
Yeah.
maybe people think that's crazy, but they can't think anything I'm saying is crazier than you. So
People are like, damn, Kevin, deep cut 2000 Disney Channel original movie.
my
Someone out there is listening.
yeah, one of your three friends who watches this with you. Wow, that came out worse than I meant. I
Uh,
didn't mean you only have three friends, Kev. I meant one of your three friends who has seen this movie
uh,
is yeah, that's wild time. Wild times. Office Christmas Party also highly inappropriate, hilarious.
not seen that.
Well, be careful who you watch it with because it is as inappropriate as any movie's ever gotten. So, but
Uh,
it is really funny. So, if you and Christine like raunchy comedies, then you should watch Office Christmas Party.
Office Christmas Party.
But don't you go telling her that I said to watch it because she already critiques my Seahawk previews.
I
So,
see 8-Bit Christmas got 84, Neil Patrick Harris,
yeah,
84% on Rotten
it's got some
Tomatoes.
good stuff in it.
Oh,
8-Bit
cool.
Christmas is solid. Yeah, it's solid.
All right.
Well, that was kind of a failure because you didn't participate, but
I
that's okay.
mean, I could have said Polar Express, but like,
You could have, but that one creeps everybody out, doesn't it?
yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way the characters are, they're so weird looking.
Yeah. That was like the transition from really like, because that was like early 2000s. Yeah. They hadn't figured
Quick,
out
quick shout out
animation.
to a Muppet Family Christmas from 1987. Solid. Some people really like that. Ooh, Rocky 4 in some places is listed as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I love Rocky 4. It's my favorite Rocky.
Yeah. On that note,
You got nothing else.
I got nothing
Have you seen
else.
Rocky 4?
No.
Ivan Drago, the Russian. Kev, you have so many things to watch.
Yeah. I'm like
You're
looking through this list and I'm like, none of these are good. Yeah.
well, don't you go telling me that Christmas Vacation or Scrooged is not good or Preacher's Wife. I need you to watch all three by the time we talk next week.
I'll
So
watch one. I'll watch one of them.
I'll
I'll
take
report
it.
back.
I'll
I'll
take
report
it.
back.
I'll take it. So by the time we talk next week, Kev will have watched one of these movies. He will have been abused by 17 different people on Twitter for his rumor mongering, and the Mariners will
Uh,
have a new infielder. How about that?
and yeah, we'll preview the whatever bowl game the Huskies are in. What's
Yeah,
it
they'll be
called?
playing.
the
They'll be
Sun
playing
Bowl on New Year's Eve.
2 days later. Yep. Yeah, we'll
Yep,
talk
and we'll
about the
know
Husky
if the
Bowl game.
Seahawks are in the playoffs as
Oh
well.
man. We might not.
Oh, could it go to week 17?
Week 18 because of the bye. They'll play the Rams. It could go down to last week. That's our hope right now, is that they can do it. So we'll see. Well, Kevin yawned, everybody. So we did it. We got exactly where we needed to be.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
We'll
See you
see
next
everybody
week.
next week.